shakalaka boom. You've tuned in to the free range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts right now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards, the Master D of chaos, the most incendiary radio host in all of Central Mississippi. Ha! Who are we kidding? There's nothing else like this anywhere on the radio, except 4 to 6 p.m. here daily at the Kim Wade Show. But I digress. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm the only thing on the radio right now on WYAB 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every Monday through Friday. Appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. You know, we don't talk about the podcast a whole lot. We do podcast this show. This show is not a podcast. This is a radio show. We're going to get technical here. This is a radio show that I also offer as a podcast. And everybody can have a podcast. Everybody can't have a radio show. So when you're all throwing your little jabs around, you know, thinking, oh, you got Burn Clay's little podcast. It's a radio show that I also put out as a podcast for your listening pleasure and convenience. We cut all the commercials out except the live reads. It shortens it down to about an hour and a half from 2 hours. So thins it out a little bit there. You can find that on all major podcasting platforms. And there's nothing wrong with having a podcast, by the way. Those little jabs usually come from somebody who can't do anything more than one day in a row. So I'm not necessarily concerned about it, but just throwing that out there. But anyway, just search Clay Edwards Show on Apple, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, anywhere, everywhere you listen to podcasts. It's even up on Audible Books if you use Audible. It should not have any problem finding the Clay Edwards Show. Just don't put the in front. It's just Clay Edwards Show. And worst case scenario, you can always find it all with all the links to everywhere, ClayEdwardsShow.com. That's where you can find my FAFO shirts, all else fails, ClayEdwardsShow.com. Need to make sure we're pushing that more around here. And the shirts are always available. If you don't remember that, at BuyFAFO.com. That's BuyFAFO.com. Let's start the show out on a somber note, shall we? I'm pulling up my notes here real quick. It took me a second to get settled in. I'm not completely logged all the way into all my all my show prep websites and everything. So y'all just bear with me one second as I get logged into Facebook, where I shared some of this stuff yesterday. A tragic tragedy yesterday. I don't want to know. I guess it's an accident. The helicopter that crashed and killing the Air Med helicopter that crashed. I mean, just so sad. So sad. Killed 3, I believe, up there in that 43 North Reservoir area. I got the news yesterday that had happened. And unfortunately, I broke the story, I believe, and I'm not saying that to brag or anything like that. I had 2 or 3 people that I trust send me some information. And like I said, I thought it was public information at that point. And I announced that an Air Med helicopter had crashed without thinking about all the families out there who have in this immediate area. A friend of mine, Joe Spears, comes to mind, flies a medevac. I say medevac, but an Air Med, I think is the technical name. I didn't think about the families of everybody on all those that are finding out through my random Facebook post that there had been a Air Med crash here in Jackson or in the Jackson area, and what a small family that is, and everybody thinking, oh my gosh, is it somebody that is a loved one of mine? And it narrows it down. There's a really, really minute number of guys in the area, and girls. When I say guys, I don't necessarily mean men, that do that in this area. So my apologies for that. I wasn't really thinking there. I wasn't trying to be first or anything like that. I was just I was posting as a concerned individual. So rarely do I apologize for anything around here, but I do want to get that off my chest a little bit. And I didn't look at it like it was when an officer gets shot in the line of duty. You know, we try to be very careful about announcing those things, and I'll never be the first to announce any names. And I did have the names yesterday, but that's just something I will not do. I'll let the police departments, sheriff's departments, UMMC, whomever, I let them handle that. I do not ever want to be the first person to announce anybody's name that deceased in the line of duty or while working or in an accident or even a car accident. I just never do that. That is my line in the sand as far as all of this stuff. I just think it's in bad taste to put people's names out there before the family has been notified. I mean, look, we live in the information age. People are going to find out about wrecks and accidents and police shootings and stuff like that. And, I disagree with some people, some local media people who like to go after everybody that doesn't do it their way and that beats them to stuff every now and then. That just is what it is. It's not a competition. It's just we all do the same thing, and some of us have to vet information more than others. I have the benefit of being independent, and I'm allowed to use my gut instinct sometimes and trust my sources, so to say. And rarely do we get it wrong. Rarely do we get it wrong. So if that ain't your cup of tea, hey, I get it. On to the next one. There's an unfollow button. So let me see here. I just want to. We got a lot we're going to get to today, but I do want to give this its fair coverage because these guys are first responders, and they left behind families, friends, coworkers. It's a very tight-knit community, and I want to give this the due diligence it deserves in their memory. And I want to start here. This is what I was able to pull together this morning. If we missed anything, I apologize, but I just kind of ran across this. This is from Mossy Oak Properties, Bottomland Real Estate. It looks like Dustin Pope, one of the flight nurses that passed away yesterday, also did real estate. And this hit me really hard this morning. And I was like, man, we're cutting onions around here at 6 a.m. I'm going to read this to you. It's not very long. This is just from his coworkers at Mossy Oak. And I think these are the best kind of messages you see, because this speaks on who these people were, other than, you just hear first responders die in accident. Well, those first responders are also human beings that had lives and families and everything that we do. And it says, it is with profound sadness that we mourn the loss of Dustin Pope, a valued member of Mossy Oak Properties, Bottomland Real Estate, and a dedicated flight nurse with UMMC. Dustin's passion for helping others extended far beyond real estate. He devoted his life to saving lives and serving this community with compassion and courage. Dustin was not only a skilled professional, but also a beloved friend, family man, and outdoorsman. His love for others and his commitment to his work will never be forgotten. His impact on those who knew him, whether through his real estate career, his life-saving work as a nurse, or his friendship, was immeasurable. We extend our deepest condolences to his family, friends, and colleagues. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. We miss you, buddy. Yeah, very sad. I'm going to flip over here I had a bunch of links put up, but it takes 2 or 3 minutes for some reason from my Evernote program to log in, and we ain't got time for all that. Let's see here. How long is this video? Man, we got a video from UMMC, but it's 9 minutes long, guys. I'm not going to play that. I was trying to find the names of everybody else. Of course, I had it saved, but it is not pulling up like I wanted it to. My apologies to anybody that is listening there. Give me 1 second. I promise we will make this try to sound a little bit more professional. Here we go. Please, WLBT, have some text here. All right. Something other than video. This from WLBT. It says, University of Mississippi Medical Center Vice Chancellor Lou Ann Woodward appeared to choke up Monday afternoon as she spoke about a deadly helicopter crash that killed 3 medical professionals. The crash occurred around 12:36 p.m. in Madison County. The Air Care helicopter had taken off from UMMC less than a half hour before. All 3 people on board, including the pilot and 2 healthcare workers, were killed. The cause of death is unknown. Our entire medical family here is heartbroken over this, she said. We also want to express our concern and sadness for the Air Care team. This is the crew that responds to emergencies across all of the state, and to see them today to respond to one of their own was something you can't put into words. This is a tragic day for the medical team. This is a tragic day for the medical center. Flight data reviewed by WLBT indicates the helicopter took off from UMMC around 12:25 p.m. The aircraft was in the air approximately 11 minutes and flew for 23 miles before crashing west of the upper Ross Barnett Reservoir near the Natchez Trace Parkway. There were 3 crew members on board, 2 medical personnel and 1 pilot. The families have been notified at this time. We are not releasing their names, so they don't have their names here. Let's see, man. I shared Jimmy Nichols' thing here, man. Jimmy did it. Jimmy had a great post. I shared it so I remember this. One of the other fallen heroes' names, was Jacob Kent, Kindt. He's a native of Mantashi and also paid the ultimate sacrifice today. The others may live. These men served as this state as first responders and sacrificed their lives for you and I. Godspeed, Jacob. You will fly in eternity in a much safer place. Let me see. I feel like I shared another post. Let's see here. Prayers for this hero's soul and for his wife and children. Looking at his post, I am convinced he was a Christian first responder. Guys, I apologize, man. I thought I had a post saved with everybody's names on it. So I'll get that together during the break and clean that up on the other side here. I can't believe I did that. But it's just a sad situation all around. Man, look, over the last few weeks we have lost multiple officers. Some to one to shooting, some to natural death, and then we lose some first responders here yesterday with the Air Med team. You know what these guys do, what these first responders do, whether it's frontline with law enforcement or I don't even know if you want to call it secondary, backline, basically not shooting back. With the medical first responders, what they do, firemen, law enforcement, there's no such thing as routine in their daily functions and what they do. And that's what I always say. And I had a chance to have a sit down with a local police chief the other day, and we talked about this very thing. And that's why I refuse to say routine. That's why I always talk about, give cops, and I'll use my police as my example here. Man, you get pulled over, it may be 11 o'clock in the morning, maybe it's lunchtime, and that cop is kind of rigid. Man, give them the benefit of the doubt. You don't know what they've seen already that day. It's not their job to be your friend on the side of the road. You got pulled over for a reason. Clay, everybody was speeding, but you got caught. Plain and simple. Give them the benefit of the doubt. You don't know what they've seen. Maybe they just had to carry 3 deceased Air Med workers out of a field. Maybe they were the first one on the scene of a helicopter crash where 3 other first responders died. Maybe they were the first on the scene, second on the scene, it doesn't matter, of a car wreck where a young child was dead. So on and so forth. You don't know what they've already seen that day. Maybe they were the first on the scene of a fellow law enforcement officer being shot, like what happened in Flowood, or what happened with our friend Brad Sullivan up in Madison County a few years ago. You just never know. How would the rest of your day be if you had to see something like that and couldn't go clock out and go to your safe space or go home? Let's take a break. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Good morning to everybody out there. We're gonna crank it back up. We're gonna laugh this morning too. Ding dong, BLM is gone. That's right. We got a good time story for you. Hit that share button if you're watching online. If you're listening on the radio, rip the knob off. It's spring break. Let's have a good time. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, the one, the only, the most incendiary show on the RADIO. This segment brought to you by my good friends and yours over at Lakeland Glass and Tint. Going to be seeing them today. Get the Raptor wrapped in some window tint. excited about that. I feel like I've been riding around in a fishbowl since last week. So really excited to get some window tint. And they're like, well, Clay, you're not going to be able to roll your windows down for like 3 days. Well, good. Clay don't eat fast food. Why would I need to roll my windows down? I have actually been enjoying riding around with my windows down the last couple of days when it wasn't raining. It has felt pretty good outside. Well, it felt good outside yesterday. And there was one day last week it was kind of warm too. Anyhow, cold this morning. But it's going to warm up to the 70s today. It's going to go from like 39 to 72 or something. But none of that will matter if it was 102. When you go and get that ceramic window tint, that Expel window tint from Expel's Dealer of the Year for, I think, 3 years in a row now. Little old Flowood, Mississippi's very own Lakeland Glass and Tint is the Dealer of the Year for a global company known as Expel. They make window tint. They make ceramic coating, vehicle wraps, all that kind of stuff. They sponsor a friggin' IndyCar full-time in the Indianapolis 500, the whole thing, the IndyCar series. I mean, this is a mega, mega global corporation. And Lakeland Glass and Tint, Jason Anderson and his team have been their dealer/installer of the year, whatever their technical term for it is. It's either 3 out of the last 4 years or 3 years in a row. That is huge. And that really says all you need to know as far as Clay Edwards is concerned. Look, they got you taken care of, whether you're getting your windows tinted on your Raptor, your Toyota Camry, or whatever else. Hey, you don't want the dark tint? You know that you can get clear tint put on your windows, and it helps keep the heat out? And let's be honest, that's the most important thing in central Mississippi in July, August, and September is keeping the heat out. They can do your home, business, or automotive glass, obviously. They also can take care of all your windshield and vehicle glass replacement needs. And you know every new windshield comes with a one-time use free light for the lifetime of the vehicle. So whether it happens the day you drive off after getting your windshield or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the road, if you get a rot peck, you're going to be able to take it back into Lakeland Glass, and they're going to stop the spread or correct the crack, whatever the process is there to keep it from spreading for free, no charge. Just hold on to that card. Maybe they put it in the system so you don't even have to hold on to the card. But that's right. They can do it all. They can also wrap your vehicle, change the color, or turn it into a rolling billboard with your company's name on the side. Hey, you got a big wall inside your business or your house. You want to put a logo on it? You want to put an image on it? Hey, maybe you want to take your family portrait to a whole new level. You got a living room, big empty wall there, don't know what to put on it? Kid them, send them your favorite picture, and get it turned into a wall wrap. I'm just making stuff up here, but they can do it all. Lakeland Glass and Tint. Start online today, lakelandglassandtint.com. Get your free quote. Don't forget, they are doing high-end automotive detail, paint correction, and ceramic coating as well. And that's the thing I know a little bit about, and they do it great. Lakeland Glass and Tint. Flowood, Lakeland Drive, Flowood Drive, and the brand-new location, corner of Highway 471 and Highway 80 in downtown Brandon, Mississippi. All right, man, let's get to the celebration. Also, they have not. I cannot find the pilot's name. I cannot find the pilot's name of the AirMed crash, or one of the. There's one name missing. One of the three names is missing. So I do apologize for that. If I get it before the end of the show, I will update all three names that perished yesterday in that tragic AirMed crash. All right, so I don't know if y'all were keeping up with the news yesterday. There was a lot going on locally, but nationally, guys, we're so much winning, but. Again, I'm not tired of winning. Are y'all tired of winning yet? Are y'all tired of Democrats, lizard people coming out of their skin, coming out of their human skin, and showing us that they're all really lizard people? I'm not. Now, I ain't been going through any drive-through barista places lately. Baristas don't like Clay Edwards. Neither do fast food workers. But I don't necessarily drink drive-through coffee, and I don't eat fast food. So they ain't getting me. They ain't getting me. But BLM PLAZA, if you're watching online now, I'm going to show you some video here. BLM PLAZA was built right outside the White House in Washington, D.C. by their racist, woke, black female mayor. I think her name's Shockwave. I don't know her name. It doesn't matter. But she's the female version of the idiot in Jackson. She's like, oh, we're going to own the Donald. We're going to own Trump. We're going to put this Black Lives Matter stamped into the street for 3 city blocks. I mean, I'm guessing it's the world's largest BLM thing. Well, ding dong, BLM is gone. That just sounds, Democrats love their little chants and their little slogans and all that. Well, I got one for you. Ding dong, the racists are gone. Good guys win again. Hashtag. So let me pull this up here. Radio audience, we're streaming live in stunning 4K video at Save JXN on Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, and TikTok. So if you want to see what I'm talking about here, y'all, you need to see just how big this concoction is to appreciate that it's being ripped up. Donald wins again, and they put all these poles down into the concrete so people quit doing donuts over it because, white supremacy. Anyway, look at this, guys. Look how big this was. 3 city blocks. Black Lives Matter. To who? Not to black folks, unless their life is taken by somebody that doesn't look like them. That's why we've always laughed at the whole Black Lives Matter thing, because they seem to only matter when they're taken by a cop or someone white. Funny how that works. Now, I think Black Lives Matter all the time, regardless of who takes it, but especially when somebody black takes it. Like, we got to stop this black-on-black crime. And if you just stop black-on-black murder, man, they wouldn't be 14% of the population for long. Man, their numbers would skyrocket. They would skyrocket. But, I mean, that culture rot, they're glorified. They brag about it. Brag about Jackson being the murder capital of the world. My hood harder than your hood. Well, I digress. I'm sure we'll talk about that some throughout the show, too, because, we always do. They want me to stop. They almost beat me last week. I'm going to be honest with y'all. They almost beat me. It was halfway through the 12th round. I was feeling worn. I was feeling a little weak. Tired, boss. I was feeling tired. But I'm back. I got that testosterone running through my veins. I'm back. It's amazing. With some good loving and some good sleep will do for a player's soul. Anyway, playing back the video here. Now, you would have thought, now it's huge. Let me try to paint the picture for my radio audience here. This thing is huge. They paint, I thought it was yellow paint, and I'm sure it's yellow paint on top, but what they did is there's this main street that runs right out behind the White House, I guess, or in front of it, whatever, and they painted Black Lives Matter in it, but it ain't just paint. This is a beautiful brick street. And then they took it. It cost almost $5 million to concoct this debacle. This is what do they call it, scored or whatever, or stamped. This is stamped. They stamped these bricks. They smeared concrete, or they etched out. They jackhammered up concrete or bricks, and then they poured concrete in, and then they painted the letters bright yellow on top of the concrete to make this Black Lives Matter debacle, because paint wasn't going to just be enough. They wanted this to be forever, ever. Well, forever was about 4 or 5 years, however long it's been since the summer of love. And now it's coming up. And what's funny is the federal government's not paying for this. I don't know what exactly Donald Trump did, what he said, how this came to be. But she bent the knee, the mayor of D.C., must have threatened to cut off some funds because, D.C. is 100% taxpayer funded. We pay for D.C. It doesn't exist without us. So I'm not sure what exactly, what purse strings were threatened. But now they're spending, and frankly, it feels a little cheap based on how much it costs to do. And it's going to take them like 3 weeks to do this. It's only costing like $600,000. I say only. Only costing $600,000. That's a half decade of my income to tear this thing up and to get it back right. I question that number. I feel like it's going to cost more than that. But maybe maybe now that Doge is looking at everything, maybe that's the real cost. The government finally getting something done for a decent price. But yeah, good guys win again. The BLM, the world's largest BLM tribute to a terrorist group, is being removed. Man, so damn much winning. So much winning. Do y'all like it? I like it. I like it. They spent all that money for a terrorist group. Miss Sylvia chimed in on the live chat on social media. She's watching on Facebook. She says BLM truly means Blue Lives Matter. Why have I never put that together? The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. The Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. We'd love to hear from some of y'all on the other side of the break here. What other tributes to the Summer of Love? What other memorials should be torn down and become nothing more than a memory, like some of your past relationships from the Summer of Love? How about that George Floyd statue of him sitting on a park bench, putting a gun to a pregnant woman's belly? Oh, there's so many I can think of. Which ones do y'all think should be torn down? I mean, the Democrats love tearing down statues. What are some of theirs that we should consider tearing down? It's a good question there. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, here live on WYAB, streaming worldwide in stunning 4K video at Save JXN on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. Also, we are on TikTok until we're kicked off again. We're there over there. This segment brought to you by El Potrillo Mexican Restaurant and Cantina in Cross Gates, Brandon, and Flowood at Dogwood. Man, are you looking for something to eat today? I'm always looking for something to eat. I'm the food hunter. Anyway, get by El Potrillo, one of, if not the finest Mexican restaurants in all of central Mississippi. I love those folks over there. Such good people. Whether you got a party of one or a party of 100, they got you covered at El Potrillo. We had my daughter's 23rd birthday dinner there last Saturday on the patio in Brandon. They had a great karaoke going on, had a good old time. Food is always great. You can get in, you can dine for under $10 if you so choose. Like I said, man, you can go in there and get lunch fajitas for one. I've gone there and I've split the lunch fajitas for one before. Got the chips and salsa, got a little cup of queso, got the fajitas, and the drinks. Just drink water. You can get out of there for about $10 or $12 before tip. And that's cheap. You can't go through one of them fat-ass fast food restaurant drive-thrus for less than $15 anymore. And that's with the value meal. Get over to El Potrillo today. Enjoy some margaritas, some karaoke, some frozen daiquiris, and, of course, the best Mexican food that you can eat. And look, man, like I said, keep in mind, you're supporting people who support us. One thing I know about Southerners, we love Mexican food. You got a bunch of choices when it comes to Mexican restaurants. I've never known a Mexican restaurant to sponsor a conservative talk show in this market. I've been listening to conservative talk radio for a long time. I don't recall hearing a Mexican restaurant sponsoring a conservative talk radio show. These guys are. In a time where, a lot of conservatives are screaming about building walls and all kind of stuff, which, hey, I'm build that wall. These guys said, hey, they want y'all to know they support us. They understand who their bread and butter is. They want y'all to come enjoy good time, good food, good people. El Potrillo, right there next to Bops in Brandon and right in front of Dick's Sporting Goods there in Flowood. Let's take a call on the Mazda Jackson phone line, shall we? Good morning. You on there?
Good morning, Clay. How are you?
Miss Sylvia, I was hoping that was you. I didn't see the number on the caller ID, but I just had this vibe. It was you. I want to say something real quick before we get started. Miss Sylvia texted me yesterday, guys, and she asked me if she could pray for me. And let me just say this. For one, you never have to ask me, can you pray for me? I'll take all your prayers. And then she texted me back and told me exactly what she was praying. She actually, I think, prayed via text a little bit with me. And Miss Sylvia, thank you so much for that. That meant the world to me.
Oh, good. That's the whole point of asking people about how may I pray for you today, because it's going to the Lord about whatever is heavy on your heart is so important. And there are times that life is just about ready to kill you, and you just think, is there another thing that's going to happen? What's next? But I have to remember that God is in control, and that He loves me, and there's nothing that comes my way that He has not orchestrated and is not going to make a way of escape for me. And that's a lot of verses put together. But anyway, what I was calling about is the following. As I said, BLM truly means Blue Lives Matter. And I wanted to tell you, I have a sweatshirt that says Blue Lives Matter on it, and I wear it often. I don't wear it when I go to work. I do wear it when I'm not working. And inevitably, it does. Like yesterday, I had it on and I was in Walmart. The majority of the people who gave me scowling looks and just mean things, I did have one person say something to me, not yesterday, but in the past. And it was a black man. And he says, "What do you mean Blue Lives Matter?" I said, "Blue Lives Matter. That stands for the police. To this old maid senior, they matter. They are my first line of defense, and I am thankful for them. Those men and women are willing to go to a bullet, and they're willing to do whatever it takes legally to protect me, and I greatly appreciate that. Because in the Army, I was going toward a bullet. Today, I'm going to hit the ground, wait till it's all clear, and then I'm going in the opposite direction." But then, as I said, black folks have a problem with my sweatshirt. But white people will tell me, "Oh, I like your shirt. That is so cool." And as I said, I don't wear it when I work, but I do wear it on my off time, especially during the winter, because it's one of my favorite sweatshirts. I have a sweatshirt that says Black to Blue. And I have T-shirts that support law enforcement as well. Now, I will wear those T-shirts while I work. They're not as out there as Blue Lives Matter. But it does bother me that certain groups of folks feel that it's their position to tell me what I can and cannot wear. I'll wear what I want to wear. I'm an old maid senior, and I've paid my dues, and I will continue to pay dues, so I'll wear what I want to wear. And I love my Blue Lives Matter sweatshirt.
I love it, Miss Sylvia. I love it.
And that was all I wanted to say. You have a great day now. Talk to you later.
You too. Thank you so much, Miss Sylvia. Miss Sylvia brought to you there on the Mazda of Jackson phone line. Blue Lives do in fact matter. Guys, I just got a video from a friend of mine's wife, sent this to me. I'm posting it now to my Facebook page as a reel. It is they are moving the victims, our first responder heroes. They're moving. I don't like saying the word bodies. I guess I'm just not the most articulate person. I guess they're moving the bodies from the hospital to the funeral homes that they'll be going to respectively. At least one of them. And they've shut down traffic there at Lakeland Drive, headed to getting on North 55 right there. A long line of blue lights there as they move one of or both or all three. I don't know, but I'm sharing the video to my Facebook page there. If anybody wants to see that, share it. Little tribute to them this morning. Very, very sad situation. Yeah, my buddy Corey just texted. He passed it on 55. I'm just typing. They're moving the first responder heroes. I know talking about this and doing it in live time on radio doesn't sound very good. I'll set my phone down and I'll do it during the break. I apologize. But if you guys want to see that video will be posted here within the next minute or minute and a half. I tell you what, I'm going to do that now. And we'll come back. We'll have a little bit more than a minute to land the plane for the end of the hour. We're going to talk about the BLM stuff. We got a lot to talk about this morning. We got some show prep from yesterday that I didn't do. Talking about black-on-black crime earlier. There was another tragic black-on-black crime. This time It was on the track and field course on the track. A black girl assaulted another black girl with a baton because she wasn't winning the race. And, of course, now she's the victim. That's right. Now she is the victim, guys. Y'all have hurt her feelings. And Fifi's over everything. Fifi's over everything. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here on WYAB, streaming worldwide at WYAB.com, as well as the TuneIn app, Alexa, and in stunning 4K video at Save JXN on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. Guys, what? Hey, A1 Gear and Auto, they're getting a cool customer today. A buddy of mine texted me last night and said, hey, what's that mechanic you use? A little local celebrity is going to be going by and seeing them today. So looking forward to hearing from Justin about that. But, man, they work on normal folks' vehicles too. You having any problems with yours, swing by, let Justin and the team right there on Highway 49 South in Florence. Check out your vehicle, whether it's you need brakes or you need a full engine rebuild. They got you covered, but they also specialize in your ring and pinion. They've been the industry leader here locally for 15-plus years now with the ring and pinion stuff. I did get that video posted there. Appreciate my friend for sending me that. It's on the big Facebook page at Save JXN. It says Clay Edwards, but the at is Save JXN. We got about a minute left here before the top of the hour break. So if you planned on calling, just hold it to the top of the hour. We'll get to you in hour 2. And let's see here. Give you a little tidbits on what we're going to talk about in hour 2. Your boy did some show prep last night. 2 days in a row now I've done it. Let's see if we can actually use some of it. We are going to talk about the track and field debacle. We celebrated BLM, remnants of the BLM terrorist organization being destroyed and torn down. We're going to talk about the UMMC nurse attack that happened. We got all the details on that. You know I got some thoughts and opinions. And something else. There was a story a few weeks ago that I missed. I think I had guests on here or something and couldn't talk about it. I didn't want to drag them down this rabbit hole. But the air quotes in the studio, white supremacist group, Patriot Front, feds, passed out some flyers down in McGee recently trying to recruit some white supremacists to do their dastardly deeds. I'm going to explain to you why I believe that Patriot Front is, in fact, a Fed honeypot to recruit idiot, smooth-brained individuals to keep the pot stirred for the feds, to keep the racial pot stirred for the feds. We got that and more. We'll be right back in 7 minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right, let's look at some of y'all's chats here. I'm not going to leave y'all empty-handed the full time. Let's scroll down. Yep, I like this right here. If you have to, this is from CD Away 24 on YouTube. It says, if you have to put color or race in front of the phrase lives matter, you're racist and I'm black. Thank you. I mean, y'all don't forget that they were canceling people for saying all lives matter. I ain't forgot, you bunch of racists. No, the rabbit got the gun now. We back in charge. There won't be no canceling folks for thinking all lives matter. Let me rephrase that. For knowing all lives matter. But the old Black Lives Matter thing was funny. It really was. Because clearly black-on-black murder leads the country in homicides. As far as like which group kills the most of their own, and it ain't even close. Most murder in this country is committed by black people on black people. And I've never heard y'all say Black Lives Matter when y'all talk about that. It's only when the cops or somebody white's involved. So I couldn't help but sit back like most people and just laugh at the hypocrisy. And that's just why y'all can't get normies on board with any of this race, DEI, CRT, 1619 bullshit. It's because, and we're off the air, so that's why I'm cussing. We're just on the live stream. And that's just why y'all can't get people on board with it. And then you literally call people racist if they say, but don't all lives matter? Yes, but right now black lives matter more. No. No, I'm out, dog. I'm out. If that makes me racist, and so be it. If that makes me racist, and so be it. Good morning, Miss Kara. Miss Angela, I'm hoping she texted and got the phone number. I hope she calls in at the top hour too. Miss Angela, I hope to hear from you. She says, I would hear black folks say on black issues, where is BLM at now? On black issues, they were eerily quiet. Well, there was no fundraising that could be done on black issues. The fundraising, and let's be honest, that's what it was all about. It was a grift. The fundraising is on racism. I remember wrestler John Cena. He just turned heel. For the first time in his career, he went full bad guy. He donated $1 million to BLM. And it was on that day that John Cena turned heel in real life. Just text the word Clay, 601-327-8550. They'll get you a free appointment today for a testosterone screening. Going back to your text here. Well, actually, we got to take a break. We got about a minute before the commercials end. I can't talk over. Bear with me. We will be right back. Boom goes the dynamite. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the RADIO. It is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm, of course, a skinny Clay Edwards as I look here at myself on the camera. Your boy ain't got no gut no more. Where did it go? Good stuff, man. Like I was just telling the online audience, for the first time in a long, long time, I absolutely love the person I see in the mirror. Physically anyway, and I'm working on the inside too. I really am. I've been talking about it a little bit publicly. I really am trying to work on the person on the inside, and I am trying to find a way to have more empathy and sympathy for people who have had their problems. And if you notice, I took down my Instagram page temporarily. I have not given out a FAFO championship in nearly 2 weeks. I'm trying to hit the reset button spiritually a little bit. I mean, we're still coming all gas, no brakes on this radio show. Still coming at them all gas, no brakes, like a train running down the tracks. But I do understand that I gotta get back grounded a little bit. I've kind of gotten away, and I told y'all that I felt like I was letting the internet character in those FAFO videos creep into my real life, my personal life, just a little too much. Not saying that that's not me turned up to 11. I mean, that is me turned up to 11, but I don't think you got to be turned up to 11 all the time. Sometimes a 4 or 5 works, maybe even 6 or 7. But we ain't got to rip the knob off at 11 and stay there. And that's some stuff I'm addressing personally. Real quick, I just did the ad read for them online. Let's do it on the radio. Men's Health of Mississippi. Guys, I weighed in at 235 on the dot this morning. 235 on the dot, not 234.2. I mean, not 235.2, not 235.4. 235 on the dot. You guys know I've been taking testosterone for well over 2 years now. It's been an absolute game changer. There are no overnight fixes. I mean, when you get to 100 pounds overweight, I mean, it took a while to get there. It's going to take a while to get there. And not just losing weight, but building muscle and transforming yourself and doing it right. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have big weeks where you lose a lot, and then you're going to have weeks where you did everything right, but you gained a couple pounds. There's going to be nights where you just say, screw it, I want some pizza, fried chicken, and beer. It happens. It happens. And do it. I encourage it. Do it. As long as you're not an alcoholic or something like that, and, you don't need to fall off the wagon. Have you a good cheat day, cheat night, whatever. But don't do that until you've hit a goal, and then maybe reward yourself by setting yourself back a little bit. Whatever works for you. And but I'm gonna tell you what's really helped me with the weight loss has been the compounded semaglutide. And I know, look, man, it's generic Ozempic. I know people got their strong opinions about it. It does that. It does this. It does that. You know what? Being fat is unhealthier than any of those other options. Being fat is about the most unhealthy thing that you can do to yourself. More so than smoking. I said what I said. I'm not a doctor, but that's my opinion. Being a fat ass has more negative health effects on your body than anything else you can do outside of maybe smoking meth or something like that. I mean, but just generally speaking, and that compounded semaglutide for a fraction of the price of what Ozempic cost can help retrain your brain to push the damn plate away when you're full. And that's what it's done for me. I cooked steaks for me and my friend the other night at the house. And I ate about 3 bites of my steak. And she goes, really? You're not going to eat any more than that? I was like, I nibbled while you were in the back. It was a big steak. I ate more than you think I did. It took me 2 days to eat that steak. You know how much money I'm saving by not eating full meals all the time? Enough that I was able to afford the extra money on the monthly payment for the Raptor. I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. I'm being funny, but I'm being serious at the same time. Text weight loss if you're interested in the compounded semaglutide. Just talk to them. They see if it's for you. Maybe it's not. Text weight loss to 601-327-8550. 601-327-8550. And if you're interested in the testosterone, fellas, if you're suffering from fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, that's your sex drive, brain fog, and sleep disturbances, text my name, Clay, to the same number, 601-327-8550. Women, they have a women's clinic upstairs. And they don't do free testosterone screenings for women because it's a little bit more of a complicated test. But I encourage you to reach out to them, especially women over 40. Premenopausal, stuff like that. And consider the testosterone pellets. Your testosterone level is just as important to you as like the estrogen level is to men. I had to take an estrogen blocker with my testosterone. Again, it's all very important. Talk to them about it and get your life on the right track health wise. Your family, not just your sex life with your partner will improve. Your relationship with your family will improve when you get your testosterone levels balanced out. All right, let's go to the Mazda Jackson phone line. I believe we got Miss Angela on the line. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Good morning, Clay Edwards.
Good morning. How are you doing?
All right, listen. First of all, I want to say, can you hear me, Clay?
Yes, I can. I got to hang up on the other. I had to hang up on whoever the other caller was there. The call was bleeding through. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, Clay. First of all, I want to say thanks for taking my call.
Always.
And also, man, look, I heard you say you've been stepping back, you've been at 11, but I just know when I tune in to Clay Edwards, I can't expect the Mike magazine. I want to hear Clay Edwards, unadulterated Clay Edwards. You know what I'm saying? And would everybody agree with Clay Edwards? Probably not. But guess what? We understand that when we listen to your show, you give your perspective, and it makes me think differently. It makes me look through the eyes of Clay Edwards. What is it that Clay is concerned about, and why is he so passionate about what it is that he's speaking on? Now, I'm going to talk about Black Lives Matter.
Can I say something? I'm going to say one thing real quick, just to put a period at the end of that sentence. Thank you for that. And it means a lot. And it means a lot coming from a black woman in Mississippi. Miss Sylvia has been very encouraging. You've been very encouraging. And to know that you guys are out there listening and being supportive of me and giving me those kind words, it really does mean a lot. So I just want to say thank you to that. And to that, I promise you, I have ripped the gas. I have ripped the brake pedal off this machine, and it will be all gas moving forward. You will not hear me whine like a little punk again.
Give it to us. And I saw where you said something about Instagram last night, and I was bothered. I was like, wait a minute. Don't allow people to apply so much pressure that you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this and do that. If it's something you want to do, that's different. Just do it. You know, if you want to step back, yeah, but give it to us. don't ever hit the brakes, okay? And that's me coming, a black girl, said we enjoy listening to Clay Edwards because you give us something to talk about.
Well, thank you so much.
I promise you we're listening.
Thank you.
We're listening.
All right.
We hear you.
The mic is yours.
And absolutely, man. Look, I adore you. You have never told us that you're somebody you're not. You've never done that.
I appreciate that. That means the
And
world.
I can appreciate Clay Edwards for who Clay Edwards is. And I just hope that people can appreciate me for who I am when I give my narrative. Hopefully we can reach across the aisle and have conversations where, we can agree to disagree and still focus on what we agree on.
That is so important. Like it just blows my mind now that it's like if we disagree, and especially bad from Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I try to get, I can honest to God say that I have gotten better about that. If because I disagree with you on something, on a lot of things, it doesn't mean that I can't be your friend. Like these Democrats have gotten to where it's like, if you don't agree with me 110% of the time, 100% ain't enough. You need to agree with me even more than 100%, or not only are we not friends, you're a vile, racist Nazi if you disagree with me on any one thing. We can't be like that.
And guess what? And Clay, and I'm going to gather a lot of people up who going to not like you too. I'm going to go get some haters for Clay Edwards.
Sure.
What? Listen. We could go on and on, man. I want to talk about Black Lives Matter.
Get on.
When it first came on the scene, I said, now, wait a minute. This thing seems kind of satanic. Now, that was just my opinion about it. I said, why would you need to gather up people in every state to start hating white police officers? Do people make mistakes? Yes. Yes, they do. But is this something to crucify somebody for? Because you got to remember, my husband is a first responder. My husband is a veteran, right? And so I'm looking through the eyes of, as a wife, out to the nation as to what is going on. And then I went to talk to my doctor, Clay. My doctor is a white man. And we talk about some of everything. And this thing got so bad that his daughter was feeling like she had to be out there on the front line with the Black Lives Matter people holding up signs. I said, wait, let her know that you got a patient who's a black woman who's not even out there supporting this narrative. He said, it got to the point she started questioning, why is she white? I said, God made her the way she is. He said, I had to explain that to her, that, listen, God didn't make a mistake when he made you white. And so it made me look at that Black Lives Matter thing even more. And Clay, it boiled all down to them getting money. It was a fundraiser thing. But if you get black people to listen to the Clay Edwards show, they'll say, no. They made out like one-armed bandits, Clay. And they sat there and they said that the white man was oppressing them, but they moved to the white neighborhoods. I'm thinking, wait a minute. If they getting all this money, I know they're going to buy up like a motel that's been abandoned, and they're going to put black people who are on the streets or single mothers up. No, they didn't do it. They made out like one-armed bandits. And it got to the point in the UK where one of the leaders was stabbed in the head at a house party. They began to back up. Everybody began to back up, and then it just went dark. But I just want to hang up and just listen to the rest of the show. But they never represented me and my family. I just want to say that.
I want to say one thing before you hang up. Before you hang up, I want to say, while you were talking, I was listening, but I did in fact crank the Instagram back up. The Save Jackson Instagram's back live. Thank you, Miss Angela, for the encouraging words. Good. It's back up.
Good.
I got a bunch of catching up to do, so I'm gonna pour some gas on the fire as soon as I get off there.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Do it. Don't hit the brakes, man.
No brakes. All gas. Bye-bye. Whoever called that I had to hang up on there, please call back. The Mazda Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. I want to highlight a comment or two, and I do have the Guns and Gear text line. I had to cut the notifications off on the text line yesterday. Somehow or another, some Obamacare phone line got my number, and they got that number, and they called 150 some odd times yesterday. Every time I looked down, my phone was ringing. I called these people and I cussed these MFers like I took out some pent up frustration on these people. And then I realized I was calling from my actual cell phone number, not the Guns and Gear text line. And so they still weren't taking my number off the damn thing. Anyhow, so I'm not seeing your notifications in live time because I've had to deactivate notifications from the app that I use, my Google Drive app, I think is what it is. Not Drive, Google Voice. That's where I generated the Guns and Gear text line from. But I'm seeing them. I'm having to go check them, so I apologize for not reading them. I forgot the notifications were off. But real quick, on the live stream this morning in the comments section, D'Angelo McIntosh says, Clay, I too enjoy the show. Very informative. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see here. One of these kind of weird names on YouTube, IE for you, or ICIE for you, icy for you. Says, technically fried chicken isn't a bad meat. Just don't eat the skin. Well, I can get behind that 100%, but gosh dang, who wants to eat fried chicken without the skin? I mean, that is the best part of eating fried chicken. I'll just throw a piece of chicken in the air fryer, seasoned, of course. I'm white, but don't season my chicken white. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on The Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to The Clay Edwards Show. We're back live here on WYAB, streaming worldwide in stunning 4K video at SaveJXN, Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble. How about we bypass an ad read real quick and we go straight to the Mazda of Jackson phone line. Don't forget, Mazda of Jackson is set up having a big off-site sale at the Pearl Outlet Malls through the 17th of this month. Swing by, see them, let them know Clay sent you. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on there.
Good morning, Clay. Big Ed here.
Hey, Big Ed.
I want you to know I drink my coffee black, but you sure make it taste better on my way to work.
I like it. I like it.
And also, I want to know if you know what the antidote is yet.
Nicotine.
There you go, buddy. I hope you're using it. I hope you spread that word to everybody you can.
Sure will, brother.
It's going to save us.
I
They're
hope
trying
so.
their best to kill us, but that's what we need. Take care, my friend.
Same to you, brother.
Love listening to you. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, Big Ed.
Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, apparently nicotine, according to the Antidote documentary, is going to save us all from the COVID vaccine shedding. I got to say allegedly, of course, because I do not give out medical advice. But I do recommend, if you have Rumble, go watch The Antidote. You'll find it. It's on Rumble. All right. Real quick. This segment brought to you by our friends over at, how about, well, you know what? How about 042 Wine and Spirits? Go over there, get you a pull, as old Dimebag Darrell would say when they would do them black tooth shots. Get you a pull. Swing by, man. But, we always talk about all these fine wines and liquors and this, that, and the other. Every now and then you just want a bottle of Jack Daniels. They got that too. Jim Beam, they got it. Heaven Hill. Southern Comfort, Crown Royal, they got it. I had a senator in here recently bought me a bottle of his 17 or 18-year-old Crown. I probably ain't drank Crown in 17 or 18 years, to be honest with you. Man, there's a reason why liquors like that are the best-selling liquors in the world. Because they're good. They're consistent. And sometimes you just forget about that. Sometimes I'm just, Crown and Coke, I'm too good for that. Give me the Four Roses, give me this, give me that. And they got that too. I ain't hating. I ain't saying it ain't great. But every now and then, it is nice just to get a Crown and Coke. Swing by 042 Wine and Spirits today. Get your Crown and Coke. Locally owned, locally operated, located right next door to Sonny's Barbecue, right there on Highway 80 in Cross Gates, Brandon, or West Government Boulevard, or West Government Street, or whatever the heck it's called. It's Highway 80 to me. Just like Lakeland Drive is Lakeland Drive, not Highway 25. It's Lakeland Drive all the way to Starkville as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's see here. Let's talk about this UMMC nurse attack. Guys, I shared it yesterday because I got tagged a million times in it. I want to go on record first and tell you BS. I think it's BS. Something don't smell right. it just something don't smell right. I think it's like saying my car got broke into in downtown Jackson. Who's not going to believe it? Now, maybe I'm wrong, and I've been wrong before. But something don't smell right on this thing. Let me see here. I got a good text about this too. Let's see here. I clicked her profile yesterday. Something was strange about it. She definitely wasn't from here, and today she changed her name. Let's see. Let me ask this real quick. Somebody sent me that. What was the name change? To and from. Sorry. Yeah, so apparently some people have been digging into her profile, and apparently she's changed her name on there, and she's not from here, according to her Facebook. But I was going to say, aside, but here's what it said. This is from Morrigan, Morrigan, BRE, Morgan Bray, something like that. It says, tonight I was attacked by a stranger in the hospital's parking lot I work at. I honestly thought my life was going to end after being choked multiple times, punched in the head 10 times plus, and threatened to be shot if I ran. He asked for my money, so I verbally and physically offered him my purse, but he ignored me, and he threw me the ground. I'm just going to say threw me to the ground and kept beating me. It didn't even seem like he wanted my money. Luckily, someone drove into the parking lot after what I felt like forever. After a long day of trying to work and help people, I could have lost my life. Nurses are attacked verbally frequently at work, and sometimes that even includes physical abuse. Despite this being a stranger in a parking lot, it felt too bizarre being so close to where I'm employed. Please stay safe, everyone. And she attached a link to the nationalnursesunited.org and about a link that shows increased rates of workplace violence experiences by nurses. It's got some pictures of her beat up here. You know, I haven't really read too deep into it. I'm just telling you, my spidey senses are off here. And I text somebody last night. I don't know if they're comfortable with me saying their name on here yet. Let's see here. I don't know if they, Now, I was asking what the name change was. But anyway, I texted somebody else last night and said, hey, are you awake? Because I wanted to run this by them, too, because my spidey senses were jumping. I even got a friend of mine that's pretty high up over there at UMMC, and I texted him and was like, man, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it really happened? And he was like, man, we've been so covered up with the helicopter tragedy that I hadn't even had time to dive into it yet. I just don't, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've got some theories, but I don't want to float them out there and disparage somebody if I'm wrong or whatnot. But I don't trust this. And I hope I'm wrong. I do. Actually, I hope I'm not wrong. Actually, I want to be right about this because I don't want to my friends and family and nurses and stuff and people who work at UMMC lives to be in danger because of rogue Jacksonians beating and robbing them in the parking lots. And look, we know that stuff has happened in that parking lot and in that parking garage. It is not the safest place. It just isn't. And I don't know if that's any one person's fault. I mean, how much can UMMC police do? I mean, how many places can they be at once? I mean, maybe they need more, maybe they need a bigger budget. Maybe they need more employees. I don't know. You know, I got a ticket one time for dropping somebody off at the front door. I got a ticket for no tag by a UMMC cop. I've never been so pissed off in my life that I got a ticket for no tag by a UMMC cop. I mean, talk about losing friends and alienating people. Good way to do it there. And I'm not even trying to act like above the law or nothing like that. Like, really, I'm dropping somebody off at work, and you're giving me a ticket for no tag on the property? Man, that was a stretch there. But I don't judge all cops by one jerk's maneuvers. But I'm just telling y'all, man, my spidey senses are off on this one. And I'm kind of reading, so her name, for whatever reason, she uses a BS version of her name, which that's a big red flag for me to begin with. Women who don't actually post their last name on social media. People who change their name. See, like, it wouldn't surprise, let me say it like this. It wouldn't surprise me at all if her boo thing beat her ass. I know I'm keeping the FCC on the toes this morning. These are words that you're allowed to say. These are words you're allowed to say. Wouldn't surprise me if her boo thing whooped up on her. And this is an excuse. This is a cover up. Now, I don't know this person. I could be completely wrong. Allegedly, all those legal terms. This could be a cover up for something. I know a lot of people who've done shadier stuff. Pretended to have wrecked their cars because they did something stupid. Stolen their own vehicles because they did something and they needed it to look like somebody else did it. Got drunk and left the scene of an accident, reported their car stolen. All sorts of stuff that I know for a fact has happened over the years. So maybe I just need a different circle of friends. I have a good circle of friends now. Maybe they need a new friend. I have been a witness to, not a party to, a witness to a lot of crazy things over the years. Something about this don't seem right. She changed her name on Facebook. Her name was Morgan Brianna, and now it's Morrigan with 2 R's, bruh. So this person shared this. I'm just looking through these screenshots I'm getting. Y'all bear with me. It says everyone shared it hours ago, calling her Morgan Brianne, which I remembered when I read it on the plane. And then I looked at it today, and she's changed her name to Morgan Bray. Yeah, she changed her name after posting it, which is kind of weird. And somebody also says, I'm having a private group text here again. I don't know if they want me mentioning their names. Says the story didn't make sense to me either. I know these Jackson criminals, they don't just beat you up for fun when you offer your purse. They are all about the money. They have taken her stuff and ran. I agree. I know it's easy to just say, I got jumped by somebody in Jackson. Just like it's easy to say your car got broken into or stolen in Jackson when some more nefarious stuff happens. See, folks, I admit that stuff like this happens. I do. Fake crimes do happen, and they go happen in Jackson, but that's because Jackson's so screwed up that they know people will believe it. So I'm not going to give you an out on Jackson being screwed up, but I will say that some of that stuff is BS. And I think this would not surprise me at all if this comes out to be BS. And a female that I know just texted in and said, and again, this is just people's opinions, that the injuries in the photos don't necessarily line up with the description that she said. She said she got hit in the head 10 plus times, but all I see is a black eye on her head. Can we see where you got hit and maybe a spot on her ear? I mean, you got whooped upside the head 10 times. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people are built different. Some people are tougher than others. Some people's heads are harder than others. I don't know. Where's the camera footage? I mean, I want to understand this. And this story kind of got lost yesterday after the plane crash, after the helicopter crash. I want to know, is there some footage of this? Can we track what time she got clocked out? Because I know y'all got to clock in and out, surely. You know, whether it's ADP online, a physical time card, somebody from UMMC. Does anybody that works there even know this girl? Was she at work that day? I don't know. I'm just saying, man. I don't want to disparage her name and be wrong here. I really don't. But I also just want to say that this ain't cutting the mustard for me right now. Let's take a. All right, I want to read some of y'all's comments here during the break here. I wasn't able to watch them in live time. Wow, only one comment through that whole thing. I really thought y'all would have had some opinions on that. Robert says, sounds like total BS. The release statement sounds scripted and much like an attention seeker. Yeah, I think it's, again, allegedly, my gut reaction, have no confirmation, no sources on this or anything. She's trying to cover something up. If it's real, if those pictures are real and current, she's trying to cover something up. It's what it looks like to me. All right, let's take a break. Y'all don't go nowhere. Show. This segment brought to you by friends over at Martin's. I want to beat it up a good bit this week. This Sunday at the Livingston location, they're having their St. Patrick's Day Crawfish Bowl. Live entertainment, 3 different bands playing. Indoors, outdoors. You ever been to the town of Livingston? It is so fun up there. So nice, so pretty, so gorgeous. And Martin's. If you haven't been to the new location yet, guys, what are you waiting for? Get out there, check it out. It's going to be bananas this Sunday. Get you a DD, plan for an Uber, whatever the case may be. Go ahead. If you need an excuse for being late or absent at work Monday, I'll write you one. I'll send you one over. Clay Edwards says, John, Susie, Ashley, whatever, going to be calling in sick today because they went to a Clay Edwards approved party on a Sunday, #Sunday Fun Day at Martin's Livingston. This Sunday, the Big Crawfish Bowl. Don't miss it. You're looking for something to do before then, Friday night at the downtown Jackson location. It's Pandora's Box, the ultimate tribute to Aerosmith, live in concert. Man, I love those tribute bands. They've been picking the right ones, too, at Martin's. Some of my favorites. I mean, how can you not? How can you not love Aerosmith? Come on. Anyway, they'll be live in concert this Friday night doing all the legendary hits of Aerosmith and looking just like them while they're doing it. Hey, that ain't for you? Get down there and grab lunch today at Martin's, downtown and Livingston. Blue plate specials, 5 days a week. All right. Let's see here. Sean just asked, did you call that out on the radio? I said, yes. Yes, Sean. I did, as a matter of fact. Other things that could have been the nurse attack, things that could have been, if not true, if you're just tuning in, I've got some suspicions. My spidey senses have been pinging on this nurse attack, this so-called nurse attack since yesterday, since I read the story. Just something ain't quite right about it. And like I said, if I'm wrong, I will get on here and publicly apologize for suggesting that something else possibly happened. It looks like a potential cover-up of domestic violence, or we've seen this before too. It could have been maybe a street pharmacy deal gone sideways. We've seen that happen too. Nurses get addicted to pain pills a lot for some reason, and they steal them. And who knows? Who knows what it could have been? I'm just saying, don't always believe the first thing you hear just because it happened in Jackson and it's easily believable. Because I don't know. I would just feel like this stuff would happen down there more often than it does to have happened this bad. And again, why would they not just take the person and run? I mean, usually they would just kill the person. Then, Jackson criminals aren't doing this for fun. They're not doing this for that kind of criminal that's going to attack somebody like that. They're not just beating a woman for poops and giggles here. It's a very intense. They don't want to get caught. They get the purse, they run. And sometimes they're complete idiots. And they'll kill the person and run and take the purse. I mean, we have seen that, but I don't know. We'll see. Hope I'm wrong. Reading a few texts here. Tim says, well, that's actually something personal. I can't read that. Let's see here. Let me flip over to the Guns and Gear line. See what you guys are saying over there. Charles says, I worked emergency medicine for many years. Injuries look a little older than what she claims, and her facial expressions aren't saying, I just experienced this. Now, being a recovering addict, I have to say I have been wrong before. I don't know everything. Yeah, my spidey senses is saying she's covering up something else. Unknown texter says, side boyfriend might have did this because I have helped my sister-in-law come up with stories like this for her real boyfriend. I'm telling you, this kind of stuff happens more than y'all think it does. See, a lot of y'all out there, you know, you live in a perfect little world and you don't experience stuff like this, or you just don't think that people can be so shady. Like, wait, you mean people would lie about domestic violence? People would lie about getting raped? People would lie about being assaulted in a parking lot? Yes. Yes, people will lie. And I mean, look, unfortunately, it's an easy lie to try to sell people in Jackson. Oh, something bad happened in Jackson? Oh, believable. Why wouldn't I believe that? Murder capital of the world. About it. They brag about it on rap tapes here. They brag about being the murder capital of the world. Clay, what do you mean they wouldn't beat up some little white nurse in the parking lot? Of course they would. I just feel like if they were going to do all that to her, they would have raped her. Like, why stop at that point? I'm sorry for the extreme visual there, and I'm sorry for any sexual assault survivors out there, that don't like hearing that word. But to me, there's nothing worse than being a fake victim. And again, I've got to be real careful here because this is strictly just a gut feeling. So I'm just saying broader picture here. There's nothing worse than a fake victim. We saw it happen recently in Scott County. The sheriff's department put a thing out. This guy said he had gotten beat by some black guys or something. Well, come to find out, partially true. He was buying some poontang, and it was a setup by the hooker and some black guys. But he was also guilty of buying some poontang. It was basically the equivalent of the drug dealer getting robbed and calling the cops to report the robbery. Yes, he got robbed, but he was doing something he wasn't supposed to do when he got robbed. I'm getting some text from some people who says, according to my sources, your gut feeling may be correct. Wild Bill says it's dangerous in the visitors parking lot. That's across the road from UMMC, very dark and secluded too. Look, I'm definitely taking that into account by all means. By all means, I am taking that into account. And that's why I'm throwing up a big old allegedly, mysteriously, maybe I'm completely wrongishly, all that. James says cameras are everywhere there. Weird they haven't released any video or anything. I'm going to give UMMC the benefit of the doubt because they were struck with a major tragedy yesterday with that helicopter that had left there. And we lost first responders. 2 nurses and an air med pilot. Their attention was diverted. And I actually, when I texted my friend that works over there yesterday, and he's one of the higher ups, and I followed it up with, he said, man, our attention's been kind of going the other way. I said, man, I am so sorry. I should have never even asked you that. I wasn't even thinking about the 2 things being at the same place. Just such a big facility. I didn't necessarily put 2 and 2 together. Let's see. All right, let me go back to your comments over here. I was going to get to the story of the baton passing assault, the black girl who assaulted the other black girl, and she was passing the baton, or not passing the baton, but running behind her with the baton, and she was beating her, so she just started beating her with it. And then she comes out today or yesterday, plays the victim and cries, and she goes, my dad died, and y'all don't understand what my mentals are. And it was an accident. Well, hold on. You can't blame it on your mentals. What are your mentals exactly? You can't blame it on your mentals and then say that that's not what happened. You're mentally deranged. You're just mad you got caught. Just another example of people that float through life without any consequences or repercussions for their actions. People like that, they're a bomb waiting to go off. They've never had to pay a single consequence for their actions. They just get away with everything, and then they play the victim or blame it on racisms. She goes, I've been getting racist death threats from people. Who? Let me see them. I ain't never known a single white person to send a death threat to a black person for committing black-on-black crime. I'm just saying, hear me out. If you're a racist and somebody black assaults somebody black, why would you send them a death threat? Wouldn't you send them like an award, a trophy or something, a thank you card, doing their job for you? It don't make sense. Just like this other story, it don't make sense. Let's take a break. We'll be right back to land the plane for the day. All right, guys, we're going to log on off of here. No sense in leaving y'all hanging for a couple of minutes just to come back and say goodbye. Fun show today. I've gotten some good sleep the last couple of nights. My head's in a much better place. I appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the kind words, the support the last few days. It does mean a lot. Even when you don't think you need it, even when you think you're a tough guy and you can deal with all of it, you know, dealing with a lot of the hate that I've gotten for the last 5 or 6 years, I think it does catch up with you after a while, but so does the love and admiration. You know, it balances out. I appreciate everybody. I truly do. Y'all stay blessed. I'm reading some of your comments over here. Icy for you says she calls herself a digital creator, so she probably got to work. So she probably got a work enemy, most likely. Maybe. Or maybe she's doing it for clicks. Love Helping Out says, what could she be hiding if she believes she was attacked in the parking lot? Oh, well, I don't think it's like what she believes she got attacked in the parking lot. I think she's pretending she got attacked in the parking lot because it'll help cover up a story. We'll see. Maybe there's video and it just shows her getting attacked in the parking lot. And like I said, I'll be the first to come on here and say, oh, got that one wrong. Icy for you says nurses in a supervisor position makes enemies easy, especially if they make subordinates get off their bottoms and earn their pay. The helicopter accident is no excuse for security not watching the vids. Maybe they have, and maybe they just decided not to release what they knew yesterday. It wasn't security that I reached out to. Completely different department. I was just curious what the scuttlebutt was around the facility concerning this. So we'll see. And based on the description of the attacker, I don't think this would have been somebody attacking her on behalf of other nurses. You know, Laquita didn't have Pookie jump Morgan in the parking lot. That ain't what happened. I mean, Pookie may have jumped Morgan in the parking lot, but it wasn't because Laquita put him up to it. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, fun show today. Podcast will be available shortly. You can always hit restart on the stream here. Watch the video from the beginning. Y'all have a blessed one. Get out. Support these sponsors. Eat lunch local. Peace out. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. If you land the plane for the day, man, that was a fun one. Chip Matthews' show is up next. I guess we'll probably find out here in the next 24 to 48 hours what the deal is on that UMMC nurse attack. I did get a text here from the Guns and Gear text line that I thought was rather interesting. Where did it go? Here it is. It said, we're talking about there was cameras being everywhere. This texture says wrong. There are cameras around the hospital, not in the parking lot or parking garage. Ooh-wee. The plot thickens. No cameras in the parking garage. Well, for all the aspiring criminals out there listening to the Clay Edwards Show this morning, there's a nugget of information for you. And that really feels like a liability that UMMC should address if true. You get some cameras in the parking garage. My folks down there at the Capitol, find some money for UMMC to get some cameras in the parking garage. Chip Matthews up next. I will see y'all tomorrow.